Hello guys and welcome to another log of Digimon Pendulum COLOR Nightmare Soldiers, and for today's log we have Bakemon. So nice to see Bakemon again. We've seen him recently in Digimon version 3, but it's nice to see him now in Digimon Pendulum COLOR Nightmare Soldiers. But anyway, before we continue today's log, just have to say if you're a fan of Digimon or raising virtual pets, you've come to the right channel, because I document every Digimon that I raise and I upload at least twice a week. So if you're interested in such content, go ahead and slash the like and subscribe button with Bakemon's Hell Hand and turn on all notifications so you don't miss any of my uploads. Alright, let's get down to today's log. As usual, start with etymology and origin of his name, and you'll probably be wondering why I'm pronouncing Bakemon's name in such a weird way. For those who are not familiar, Bakemon is actually pronounced Bakemon, not Bakemon, which is how I used to pronounce it back then because I had no idea. As an English speaker, when you see B-A-K-E, you think bake, because you're like, bake a cake, because that's how, you pronounce B-A-K-E. But it's not Bakemon, it's not Bakemon, or whatever that, back then in my childhood, my friends and I used to pronounce it, because after understanding the etymology of his name, you will understand why it's pronounced Bakemon, because there is an explanation. Bake is actually short for the Japanese term bakemono, which is the word for ghost or monster in Japanese. So it's actually a very clever pun, because bakemono is monster, and in this case digital monster would be for this Digimon it is Bakemon. So it's a very clever pun. Honestly, it's a double pun. It is a Digimon, so it is a digital monster. And instead of using the term Bakemono, it's just called Bakemon, and that's why it's pronounced Bakemon, right? And I hope I've convinced you to pronounce it Bakemon if you haven't, right? It's not Bakemon or Bakemon or whatever we want to call it, right? So it's Bakemon. So Bakemon is ghost Digimon, right? Let's see his profile on digimon.net. So we kind of covered the etymology there as well. A ghost Digimon with a cloth over its body, Bakemon is a wicked being born from the darkness, and computers possessed by it are said to have their systems destroyed in an instant. Oh, okay, cool. It's a destroyer of computers. What's inside the cloth is a matter of mystery, and the shadow cast under its true form is thought by some to be a black hole. Okay, that's intense, because black holes are like really, the gravitational pull behind this is crazy. Bakemon lacks attack power and it just has a black hole as a shadow, but it lacks attack power. Bakemon lacks attack power and thus doesn't like attacking directly. His special move, Hell's Hand, casts a powerful curse. Anyone lacking a powerful mind will die in seconds when cursed by Death Charm. Okay, so there's two different attacks, but they didn't say what that powerful curse does. It's just a powerful curse, and then Death Charm kills somebody in seconds. So okay, this is probably born out of the time when Bakemon is this is not the first time we're seeing him. It's one of the OG Digimon that appeared in the OG Digital Monsters version 3, right, on the older device. So back on the older device, their profiles tend to be slightly shorter, very exaggerated, very OP when you describe it. It's like, even for champion Digimon, it's like super strong. If ultimate level Digimon is like end of the world kind of thing, and then you realize that okay, actually beyond ultimate there's mega level. So I guess the prof initially, when they wrote that, they didn't realize that they will actually power creep their own Digimon profiles, right? So I guess you have to take it with a pinch of salt. But yeah, if you look at his profile, this is Bakemon's description, and it sounds like it's really very powerful. Once again, this is one of the rare times when there's no reference between Bakemon that appears in Foul Island, which is the OG device, right, on the Digimon version 3, and the Bakemon that appears in Folder Continent. Folder Continent would be the lore behind the Digimon that appears in Digimon Pendulum. So, but yeah, take note, Bakemon does appear in both Digimon version 3 and Nightmare Soldiers Digimon Pendulum. So in that sense, similar to Meramon that we have covered a few logs earlier, or Kabuterimon, Kuwagamon that appear in both the older brick devices and Digimon Pendulum. Bakemon on the Digimon Pendulum are a lot stronger than the Bakemon that it appeared in Digimon version 3. So we can also look at a comparison between the videos, the documentation that I did for version 3 versus this. But for now, this log focuses on Digimon Pendulum Color. So this is Bakemon. Let's look at its evolution conditions. And as usual, when we look at evolution conditions, we have to go to humulus.com. So if you're wondering what's that, that's the website that I go to for all my evolution condition needs. So I document every Digimon that I raise, Vital Bracelet BE, Digimon Color, Digimon Pendulum Color, and Digital Monsters X. I was able to plan all of my evolutions because I use humulus.com. So that website is awesome. It has all the evolution conditions for most of the modern devices and some of the older devices, or in fact most of the older devices. So if you're ever playing a Digimon virtual pet and you're stuck, like wondering how do I get to this evolution that I need, go to humulus.com. It has everything. So, and knowing your evolution condition is a lot better. It's like if you don't know, you're just shooting in the dark. So I always check evolution guides to know and plan for the evolution that I want. So Bakemon is an intentional evolution. I had Pico Devimon, also known as Demi Devimon, in my earlier log, and I wanted to get Bakemon. So in order to get Bakemon, I just need to make sure that I treat it really badly. So have 0 condition hearts, meaning a lot of chemistics, 2 chemistics to be precise, and to not train it at all, right? It's 0 to 2 effort. You can train it a little bit, but not too much, otherwise you evolve into something else. You can also get Bakemon from Lugamon if you have Lugamon. Also 0 condition hearts and 0 to 3 effort. And that's it. You'll get Bakemon from these 2 Digimon. And it's as easy as it gets. Bakemon is one of the easier champions. In fact, based on this, it is one of the weaker champions in the rosters. Usually, if you treat it really badly, with hardly any training and any chemistics, usually that kind of evolution would mean this is one of the weaker champions in the roster. The stronger ones would be where you have to have as little chemistics as possible, treat it really well, and you have to train a lot. Then the stats usually will be very good as well. So Bakemon is one of the weaker ones in this roster, and that's it, right? But we still have to get it, and we have to evolve into it in order to cover, your gallery or codex, whatever you call it. But it's just to fulfill that part of that roster, right? And that's it for its evolution conditions. It's a little easier than when its first appearance on version 3. On version 3, Bakemon's evolution conditions are different. It is not the weakest in its roster. So that's what made it interesting as well. When I first tried my hands back then on the original Digimon Pendulum, not color, right? The OG, the black and white one. I was always very fascinated because on the version 3, Bakemon was supposed to be difficult to evolve into. I remember it was a Digimon that required very specific conditions from the rookie level. You need to have chemistics, but you have to have a specific number of training, whether you evolve from Patamon or Kunemon on version 3, right? And you had to have like specific overfeeding or not overfeeding depending on which rookie you get. So it was a delicate balance. It was not easy to strike it. It wasn't easy to evolve into Bakemon. But over here, it was so easy to evolve to Bakemon. You just have to treat it badly. And its sprite doesn't look terrible. So once again, it's like the case of Devimon, right? The other devices, when you treat it terribly, you tend to evolve into some virus type or some poop type, and it just looks, not great, right? The sprite doesn't look great. The artwork usually is like the clown of that roster, right? It's the one that doesn't look so good. But here, the clown of the roster, quote unquote, is Bakemon, which is quite cool because it's not like throwing poop or throwing farts or whatever it is. It's just a ghost and it looks cool. So I remember finding that very fascinating. For Nightmare Soldiers, right? That the failed evolution, the one that's the weakest, actually looks quite cool and interesting as well. So that's one of the things that I liked. I remember back then when I was trying my hands first on the Nightmare Soldiers OG device. Anyway, enough about all these nostalgia. Let's take a closer look at its sprite, shall we? Alright, and let's see, it's Bakemon on the device, and I think it looks super cute. Please correct me if I'm wrong, but it looks a lot more animated than the one on version 3. I remember the idol animation on version 3 wasn't so interesting. Like you see, there's a part where it actually turns red. If I'm not mistaken, I think that's the angry animation. There's the part where you see it turns kind of pink. So I remember it didn't have this feature. I don't remember seeing this. But anyway, let's take it out with its Digimon's house and put it on the classic nostalgic background. Yes, I remember this. So I was, like I said, when I'm back on the OG device, I was always very fascinated to get like Bakemon being the weakest champion still looks quite cool, right? And I like the idea of that. So having a Digimon that is supposed to be the clown or the poop version of the roster still look cool on the device was kind of special. Anyway, let's see its feeding animation. It's floating around the screen. Let's see its feeding animation. There we go. Oh, it looks really cute when it's eating. Alright, let's see the training animation as well. It's a virus type, so it's blue. Okay, easy. Oh, I remember this as well. When this attack sprite is like, wow, usually the poop version attack sprite is like, nah. This is happy animation and it looks really cute. I think that's the same happy animation as the one that's from version 3. So we can do a quick comparison, or anybody who remembers it, you can leave a comment in the section below. Some of you are quite good at this. If I remember, I think that's the happy animation that they actually, that's the happy animation that we actually see on version 3. But angry animation I think is quite different. So anyway, yeah, so it's nice to see the attack sprite being special. Usually the clown version in that roster, the attack sprite doesn't look great. It's usually like poops and farts or anything. So there, see, the angry animation, it actually changes color. I don't think the version 3 one does that. So that's cool. That's a nice tech. I like the fact that even though they are using the same sprite as, I mean, Bakemon obviously appeared in version 3. They could have just easily reused the sprites from version 3, but some parts of it, of course, they did reuse, but they added slightly new things to change things up a little. I think that's a nice touch. I really like that. Even though, you know, the rest of it is still copy and paste, but at least they did put in the effort to make something different and didn't just copy wholesale from the one that they did in version 3. Right? They added new stuff. So anyway, let's see its battle. We do need some battles. And this is one of the things that I find very unsettling, because Bakemon is virus type, and even though it's champion against Rookie, Tapirmon here, or Bakumon, is still a vaccine. So being the first enemy that you can fight, it's still a little scary that we might actually lose in the first battle. Alright, the second battle should be a little better, because Candlemon, although it is also second enemy within the quest map, it is data type. So vaccine against a virus against data is good, and it's champion against Rookie. So I think we stand a decent chance of winning this match usually. And there we go. And this is where I'll stop, because there's no point fighting the boss battle, because it's virus against virus, but the boss usually gives me a severe handicap. So this is how I'm going to cycle my way through to 15 wins, or 15 battles for Bakemon to evolve. I've gotten 2, I just need 13 more to go. So anyway, let's see Bakemon against the Evening Sky. As usual, there we go. I like this so much. The color change is so cool. It is so significant. And yeah, it looks very well done. I like this. Evening Sky and the Nightmare Soldiers is just amazing. And the Night Sky as well. So this is Bakemon saying no. And we just have to document the sleeping animation. I think it sleeps at 9. Yeah, it sleeps at 9. There we go. This is his sleeping animation. Oh, it looks really cute when he's sleeping. This is how it looks when it sleeps. And that's it for today's log for Bakemon. If you haven't already, please go ahead and slash the like and subscribe button with Bakemon's Hell Hand and turn on all notifications so you don't miss any of my uploads. Thank you for watching and see you in the next video. Bye!